Hello, hello. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. I'm just getting to my computer and just trying to see what the jobless claims look like right now. So we'll be looking at things fresh together. So let's see. Jobless claims looks like we came in lower than forecast and lower than previous. So that's a good thing. And then I guess this UE Philly Fed index came back more favorable. Not really sure what that means. So I'll look that up. And then continued jobless claims is also lower than forecast and lower than previous. So I mean, I guess that's good. And rate cuts yesterday, so everything looks like that is good. People are happy. So that's interesting. I guess we'll do a quick look at Grok. I was searching this morning and just trying to get a sense of what people are saying. Oh no, that's not. Oh, I see. So for some reason, the history on your phone doesn't keep when you're on your computer, which is kind of ridiculous. So we'll just see what that comes back with later. And I guess we'll just kind of look at how things are looking on the flow of all the things. So if we look at the queues, so as of all the flow as of yesterday, yeah. So as of yesterday, it was a little bit bearish, just overall, which is interesting. And if we look at maybe for expiry tomorrow, which is the 19th, or even today. What are people thinking today? If we expire today, so there's more bearish bets going into today. I think what I saw pre-market may not be turning out that way, but it's still early. You never know. And then for tomorrow, expiration bullish. And then if we go into Monday, bullish. If we go into Tuesday, bullish. Wednesday, starts going a little bit bearish on Wednesday, Thursday. Well, one bet really bearish. That's fine. Friday a little bit more bearish. So that's interesting. Uh, So sentiment wise, from a order or not an order flow, but options flow seems like bullish for the next few days, and then maybe we taper off. At least this is what people are betting on. So that's kind of interesting. If we look at the dark pools really quickly here, um, let's see what was I saw. Yeah, this was crazy on the spy. I saw this was tweeted out, but yeah, like 4.6 billion transacted at this like 6955 level. Is this? Oh no! Sorry, the 65921 level. I was like that level doesn't make sense. Which is kind of where we yeah 65952161. So it's kind of like the high. I don't know when it transacted, but that was kind of interesting. I just saw that on the Twitter sphere. So queues for the last day. Let's see, we got nothing in the billions, nothing even half a billion. So not really a lot. I mean, hundreds of millions, I suppose. This 589, 591, 589, 591. So I'll call it 590. I'll just say 590 to kind of be in between to kind of watch that. So if we look at 590, just to kind of see. So that's 245 550. All right. So, and since the continuous contracts haven't quite fixed themselves yet, I will just kind of mark this really quick. But man, look at that. Look at that upness close. Yeah, 24550. So if I do here, I want to put you at 24552, I think it was. We'll just make it a round number. Interesting. Okay, so that's where that happens. And if I unlock you, and this happened yesterday, so kind of roughly at the top of that candle. Interesting. We will sync it, lock it. So we'll see. We'll see just how we go, but we are obviously up from that. So I guess we will see what happens. Quite interesting. And so I think, Yeah, so the news that went out, that seems positive. I think the obvious rate cut has been positive. Prices going up. Broke new all time highs, and so we'll just kind of look at everything now at the index. All right, so NQ, whew, amazing, amazing gap up. And so, are we gonna sell off and close that gap today, or are we just gonna continue? I think higher probability is like when that gap is that wide, I think we continue going up. I mean, 2,500 is within reach, right? Like people will probably throw money into that. So that's pretty amazing. And go for ES. Nice gap up, crushing it. Interesting are the Russell hasn't broke all time. Well, yesterday it pierced, but then today it's not following suit. And then the Dow is broke a new high. So Russell is lagging. I think maybe that's to be expected. Um, Interesting. So we're rotating back into these kind of indexes. Um, VIX cooling off after kind of climbing up a little bit. Dollar rebounding here. Um, Treasury note yields, had sell off, kind of rebounding, but still kind of hanging out. So, let's see if we kind of break out here. And then, oof, look at that, man. So XOK gapped up, red, closed green, made a new high, closed red. Tried to close the gap, but people bought up. It swept that low, and people said nope and defended it, and off we go. And so here's the interesting thing, right? Like, I mean, this low is such obvious risk on the XLK, and then you just swept it and kind of kept going. So you have to give your stops and your risk a little bit more room, you know. Or like if you're, this would be a great entry just at the low of that, and then, maybe a little bit lower there. But anyways, that's interesting. And then nice gap up along with the Qs. So I mean, everything looks bullish. You cannot argue with price. 100% full stop. So that is what's happening. Mega Tech, Apple, go. We pierced that high, that recent high on Tuesday. Wednesday, little inside candle, and pre-market we're kind of hanging out. So let's see how that plays out. Microsoft, went up, a little pullback. Now we're kind of slightly gapping up. So that seems bullish to me. Amazon holding up pretty well here. Pull back, pierced up, pull back. Pre-market seems like we're going to open a little bit higher. Google, we had a pause, had a little shallow pullback, didn't even break the low of that gap up candle, and pre-market's back at the highs. So that's cool. Google is just on a tear. AI, man, AI. So it's pretty amazing. Meta, yeah, we broke all this, closed that gap, went higher. Pre-market's holding up. Yep. And Nvidia, so some volatility down back into these levels. Now it looks like we're going to gap back up above this gap. So let's see if we keep going. So that's interesting. Tesla. I mean, I've seen people are eyeing like 500s and things like that. Yeah, I'm would not short this at all. Um, Super strong. I think Tesla bulls are always strong, so I will leave that alone. I mean, maybe you want to join, but And then Qs, nice, that pullback like XLK, and then boof, nice gap up. So that's amazing. So let's see. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's no arguing. I think the news was good with the jobless stuff, and obviously rate cuts were good. I think the rate going forward, I think the tone, I hear people are saying the tone was a little bit more hawkish uh, than I guess people would have hoped. Just kind of, make sure to look at the data before you make decisions and things like that for the next rate cuts. But I think up is the direction. So I guess we'll look at the charts here really quick. Yeah, it's craziness, right? Look at all this. Like I got in here, got out here, shorted in, got out somewhere here, I think, yesterday. Yeah, I got out somewhere there and then left it alone, came back and got a little bit of this move right here. Um, Not too, or is it this? Oh, this is a 5 minute. That's why it looks weird. The 1 minute, here we go. Yeah, and I came back and I was like, okay, let me just, after the announcements, yeah, I got a little bit of this move around here. Um, Not too much of it, but got a little bit of it. It was a good day yesterday, but I didn't want to get caught. So, but you just kind of see, look at all that, the range in these candles, and then bam, look at that beautiful volatility. So I'm kind of excited for today. I don't want to get too overly greedy or anything, but I am happy that there's some volatility. And then with the kind of positive news on the jobless claims, there may be some range to play around with and hold for some follow through. So that might be good. Obviously, we are gapping up. And so if we look at electronic trading hours really quick, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, wow, we've just been going. Closed here and just kept going, bounced off a VWAP, bounced off a VWAP, new highs. So quite interesting. I guess I will keep an eye on this level. It's an interesting kind of pre-market level for me. I'm going to lock that. Also, this high, which is, I mean, it'll show up on the charts anyways, but we'll be watching how we do there. Yeah, I mean, pull back to here. I mean, maybe pull back to here if if things want to be really strong, but we just have to see. So I'll just kind of, I mean, long as the direction, obviously, and so that is what I'll be looking for. But I mean, if price, you always have to be open to just people selling off. Like I'm also open to that, but I won't be too comfortable in it. I think I would keep my stops tight on shorts, and just kind of take my profits quickly, unless price and volume and stuff tell me otherwise. But yeah, it feels like pullbacks to this level for a shoot back up, even down here, right? Like this previous 4 hour low. Um, I will just be watching how price reacts to those levels and see what we do. I think that is my plan for today. Again, I think hopefully there's a little bit of range, so be a little bit more comfortable holding, at least on the long side. On the short side, I will be in and out if anything does present itself, and we'll see how we go. All right, that's it for me. Good luck out there, and talk to y'all tomorrow.